Sure.
To the economy now, the federal government has spent or promised trillions of tax dollars to stimulate the economy. So I heard some economists this morning now warning that 10 or more states are taking steps that they think may have the opposite effect and could hurt the economy. Get this, at least 10 states now planning tax hikes that could end up negating the president's big economic plans. What does this mean for us and our future? Let's bring in the Wall Street Journal's Steve Moore, who joins us, who's also the author of Rich States, Poor States, which certainly deals with this issue. Steve, so what's happening then is the president passes this major economic bailout, yet those billions, we're going to get socked with more taxes that could have the opposite effect?
Yeah, good morning, Eric. That's exactly right. You know, I think a lot of Americans are probably very confused by this because the reason we gave hundreds of billions of dollars to the states this year was precisely to avoid the states having to raise taxes during these tough times. And now we're finding just the opposite. And by the way, Eric, by my calculations, it's not 10 states. It's closer to 20 to 25 states that are looking at raising taxes. We're talking about New Jersey, New York, California, Connecticut, Arizona, my home state of Illinois. And these are major tax increases, some of the biggest tax increases we've seen in 20 years in the states.
So let's get this right. They get billions of dollars from the federal government, yet the state capitals, that's not enough for them. They're still raising the taxes by billions more. Why don't they take the billions and either try to cut spending where they can do that or deal with this in some manner?
Well, that's a very good question. I think it's a question a lot of members of Congress are asking, a lot of American taxpayers are asking. And I think the answer to the question is what state lawmakers did, Eric, is they took all of this money and they simply spent the money, and then they said, you know, we need more taxes to fund ongoing services. So a lot of states are not actually hard-pressed for cash right now. A lot of states are looking at the biggest increases in their budgets that we've seen in 25 years. States like New York and California are spending money like crazy. By the way, it's an interesting aspect of this story, Eric, that the two states with the highest taxes in the country, California and New York, are the states that are raising their taxes the most. And so New York and California are almost in this contest to see which state can raise the taxes the most. And I have to mention one other interesting aspect of this story, which, Eric, is what's going on in Oregon. And I don't know if you've been following this, but in Oregon, they want to raise the beer tax by 1,900%. And it turns out Oregon is a state that actually has more microbreweries than any state in the country. So there's a huge revolt going on in Oregon as they want to tax their six-packs.
Well, you know, don't you think a lot of people are going to feel betrayed? I mean, literally, just betrayed, because first you get socked with the federal taxes, and now, I mean, this wasn't what was supposed to happen.
Yeah, betrayed, and also a lot of economic stupidity on the state level. A lot of these states, like California, New York, Connecticut, New Jersey, are looking at raising their income tax rates, and I believe what's going to happen, and the evidence is very clear on this, Eric, over the last 10 or 20 years, that when states raise their income taxes, high-income individuals and businesses move out of those states. Well, it's no accident.
There have also been studies that say that doesn't happen. But one final point. I mean, Ronald Reagan, 1982, had a bad recession. He cut taxes, cut spending. Why don't some of these states follow that?
Well, that's a really good question, too. I mean, there are some states. By the way, I found one state, Eric, that is going to be cutting their taxes, not raising them. That's Georgia. But most states are raising their taxes. They're moving in exactly the wrong direction. And I should tell your viewers that there are 9 states still that don't have any income tax. We're talking about states like Texas and Florida and Nevada and Tennessee. Those are states, I think, that are looking very economically healthy right now because they don't overtax.
Well, if they don't have income taxes there, you know what's going to start happening down the pike. Steve Moore of the Wall Street Journal. Great insight, always an analysis.
See you soon. Happy Easter.
Right on, you too. Thank you, Steve. Jamie?
At the top